Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. John Boxy here, and I'm back for another tutorial video. Now, as you can see in my screen or the title of the video, I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to fly a plane in Pilot Training Flight Simulator, or in short, PTFS. Now, there's gonna be a few different things that we have to talk about here: flying a large plane and a smaller plane, or a jet technically. Okay, now without anything to do or anything to say, but I will say like and subscribe this video if you like this video or the other videos that you want to watch in my channel. I really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Now, first off, in the main menu, as we can see, we have the option. Now, this is going to be very important for your training. Like, of course, the title, Pilot Training. Now, if we click this, we can see there's a few options that we could turn on and turn off. And I'm only going to show the most important thing. And now, the wind enable and the legacy handling. Now, and also the rain. Now, if you would want to make your flights or your training easier, I would recommend turning the wind off, because if you turn the wind on, it will just turn on like it's gonna make the plane harder to land because there's wind. And legacy handling is only for jets or fighter jets if you want to do some insane tricks. And yeah, that's all that I'm gonna show you today, or for now, in the option menu. And let's get started. Now, I'm gonna pick Greater Rockford because this is my favorite airport. It doesn't matter where you want to practice or spawn. And I'm just gonna use the other terminal because I don't want to spawn here. It's gonna take too long to taxi. Okay, now for this time, I'm only gonna teach you how to fly a large plane, because if I teach you how to fly a smaller plane or a jet, this video is gonna take much longer than expected. So I don't want to make the video any longer. And now let's pick any plane, but I'm gonna use a commercial plane like the Airbus A330. And then you can pick any airlines, but I'm just gonna be using the default, or the white plane, just plain white. Okay, now for the first step, I want you to press E to turn on the engines. I'm gonna be putting a list of controls right now. Pause if you want to read. And now let's get it on. Let me turn on my volume. There we go. I hope you can hear the engine now. To taxi, you need to press E. It's in pig in your keyboard. And then slowly accelerate or taxi, just hold W or press W. Focus on the throttle percentage here. It's gonna show you how much thrust is being applied, like that. When taxiing, you can just apply 100%. It's not gonna go that fast, but it's gonna make more fuel consumption. So stick with 63 or 50. It's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna speed this up so it doesn't take that long. Okay, don't mind my piloting skills or taxiing skills, because I'm not really used to this kind of taxi, but I'm kind of used of that taxi. I don't know why I spawned here, but yeah. Okay, now I need you to press P again in order to go forward. Now, to go forward, exact same thing, W or S. Okay, that lightning is kind of hot, it's kind of loud. Okay, let me turn on my graphics there. Okay, now press W. By the way, you can use your mouse to turn left or right, or if you want to take off or land. Your mouse is your best friend when playing this game, or when you're technically playing any flight games. Your mouse is your best friend. Okay, now I'm just gonna speed this up again. And by the way, when you're taxiing, don't go faster than 10 to 15 knots, because it's gonna be a disaster if you want to turn. Okay, now let's speed this up. Okay, now we are exactly at the very front or at the very middle of the runway. Now, here's the next step, and as you can see in the in the top right or top left of the HUD, like in the middle, you can see the flaps, the flap mode. Now, if you press H, one is gonna go, and then if you press again, it's gonna be 2. Now we're taking off, so we need to take. We're only gonna need to lower the flaps once. Then if you're landing, you're gonna take the flaps all the way down. Now for taking off, only take 1 or 2. It depends on the aircraft. Some aircrafts have 3 or 4 flaps mode. Now, if you want to fly this very easily, you can do this type, or just do it in this mode. Or if you want to fly very smoothly, press Z as in zebra in your keyboard, and as you can see in the top right next to the taxiing logo, advanced is gonna show up. That means you have full control over the plane and it's not gonna stop you from doing anything. Okay, now you can go to first person, just zoom in and then hold W until the throttle or the thrust is 100%. Now for common planes, they usually take off at 180 knots. Okay, it's sliding. This is why I meant if you wanna practice first, turn off the wind, because wind is gonna be your worst problem when taking off and landing. Okay, now we have at least 200 feet off the ground. You can take off the landing gear, press G, there we go, and then once we reach in about 1,000 feet or 1,500, we can retract the flaps or bring it up. There we go, 1,500. You can at least take it up now. Press Y if you want to take up the flaps. There we go. Now there's a few simple controls that I want to show you, and this is R and P, and I mean F. Okay, not T but F. Okay, so basically here's the thing. Let me turn around it here for a second. Okay, if you press R as in rain or just rain, this is gonna hold your attitude at what altitude you are on. Example, I'm on 3,700, and if I press R, it's gonna hold that altitude without doing anything. So I'm not really pressing anything or moving my mouse, it's just cruising on its own. Now if you press F, as you can see, it's still making a smoke trail behind, but you're not actually moving. Now this is for roleplay reasons. When you're cruising, you're not actually moving, so this gives the realism of actual long flights. If you want a longer flight than normal, you can press F on your keyboard when you're at a certain speed or altitude you want, and it's just gonna stop you from moving, but the smoke trail is gonna make the effect like you're still moving. Okay, now if you press F again, you can see it's still holding the altitude. Never mind. R, there we go. Now this is the only few steps. Okay, this is what I meant by using advanced mode. Okay, let me get out of R. Now if we had advanced mode, I can do this. I can literally flip the plane upside down. Just fly the plane upside down. I can do a barrel roll. Now, if we don't have advanced mode on, we cannot do that because the AI or something in the plane stops us from doing those kind of tricks. And that's why advanced mode is used for realistic flights or realism in the game. And that's basically all the controls that you want to know. But of course, all flight games have their own control system, and you can look at it by just pressing the control anywhere on the screen, or if there's any control in the menu. And as you can see here, just like what I told you, and that's basically it. And time to land. Okay, let me speed this up again. And by the way, when landing, decrease your speed at about 50% thrust, and then lower your flaps once. Lowering your flaps, or lowering, or just pushing down your flaps down, make sure your plane goes slower. Now, you don't want to put your gear down without being near to the runway, because that's just completely unrealistic at this point. So when you lower your speed to about 50% thrust, you should be in about 200 knots or 250. Now I'm still going at 300, so I want to lower that, because the normal landing speed is at 150 or 120. Depends on what plane you are on, because some plane requires 150, some planes require 120. Okay, now we are still at 200 above. I'm gonna lower my thrust again, and now I want to lower my flaps to the maximum amount. Now, if you think you're close enough to the runway, put your gear down, press G. There we go.
1000.
There's the AI box talking to you about your altitude. Now you can go first person if you want, but if you're kind of new, just look at the bottom here. Adjust your camera and look at the bottom, so it's much easier to land. Now you can see here in the gear logo, or in the gear indication at the top, it says land speed. So that means you're at the normal speed and the perfect speed.
500.
You're approaching slowly. There you go.
400.
I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. Okay. Now, if you want to land realistically,
minimum 200.
Press Z so you can turn on advance. There we go.
100.
I forgot to say you can use your rudder by
60,
using A or
50,
B
40,
when you're
30,
in advanced mode.
20. 10. Retard.
There we go. That was kind of a bad landing. It's not really in the middle, but that's fine because this is just a tutorial, not a realism video. Now to reverse thrust, click P and then go 100% thrust. Just like that. Now you have known on how to fly a plane in Pilot Training Flight Simulator in Roblox. Now there's a few controls that I want to tell you right now. Let me shut off the engine. I'm just kind of in the middle of the runway, but there's no really air traffic anywhere, so that's fine. And now I want to show you on how to look around freely without turning the plane. Just press C, and now you can look around freely without turning the plane. I'm gonna show you this. See, I'm gonna press C again, turn on the engine. See, if I move my mouse, it's gonna move, but if I press C, I can look around without controlling the plane. Pressing C basically just disable your controls to the entire plane, but you can still use the flaps or anything. You just can't control it or maneuver it, in other words. And that's basically it. This couple controls here is not really useful unless you have co-pilots, which if you press U on your keyboard, the co-pilot is gonna have the same exact power as you. Now if you press J, the co-pilot is only gonna have a limited amount of power or abilities to control the plane. And then if you want to lock your plane and don't want anyone getting in it, just press B as in victory in your keyboard. And that's basically it. Nothing else. Hammer locks kind of useless. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Okay, you can hold spacebar to exit, and it's kind of loud. Okay, wait. So that's kind of it for today's video or tutorial, guys. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm gonna see you next one. And by the way, comment if you want to see another video or any video that you want to see about me in the channel. I will do it for you guys. Comment down below what you want me to do next. Thank you and bye bye.